Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man too. Woo-hoo.
Good morning, Flosstube. How is everybody on this beautiful November morning? I am fantastic because I am on vacation. See how I didn't even wait for your answer? I don't really care. Hey, look, my coffee wants to say hello to you too. Oh, hello. Okay, so this is what is known in the industry. The industry? What industry? As an off-the-cuff, without a net, no safety net type of floss tube. Because I wasn't planning to do this today. It's not that I'm not prepared. It's like I haven't been thinking about it for the last month. Like, obviously, I'm a little bit prepared. But I had plans today that fell through last minute. And I'm on vacation, sitting here all by myself, doing absolutely nothing. Might as well do this, right? I mean, I don't have any notes or anything written out. I'm not really prepared to do it. But what else am I going to do? Might as well. Let's see how this goes. My last video, my big comeback after 4 months, was a little bit frantic. I mean, I know they always kind of are, but I didn't really realize until I was editing just how jittery and wild. I was just excited. I was excited to be back. Okay, like, am I allowed to be excited? I'm allowed to be excited, right? But I don't have to be like that all the time. Believe it or not, this might be hard to believe, but I'm in real life. I'm actually pretty calm, quiet, calm and quiet. I don't actually enjoy being the center of attention when I'm in a large group. I like it here because I'm not in a large group. I'm all by myself, and I am the center of my own world, which is why I act like a complete maniac in front of this camera, because I'm just performing for myself, and if anybody else wants to watch, you're welcome. Point being, I don't have to. I'm gonna actually try to tone it down a little bit. This will give you a little glimpse of like Darcy instead of Stitch Man. Would you like that? I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that, because I feel this incessant need as soon as I turn this camera on and see my face. I just feel this overwhelming need to just act like a jackass. So I might not be able to help it, but we'll see. We'll try to tone it down a little bit. Watch. I can be serious. I can be serious if I'm really trying. Watch this. So I'm not going to waste too much of your time with a bunch of nonsense today. We'll get straight into the stitching stuff, except I just wanted to, because I'm going to bring back a classic right now, because yesterday was Halloween, and I didn't realize until yesterday that most of my family is not really all that fond of Smarties, and we get a lot of Smarties on Halloween. So do you know who is fond of Smarties? This guy right here. So look at this. They just dumped all of their Smarties all over me. Look, Smarties. And look, we're talking about Smarties, like the real. This is the debate that I had back when I first started floss tubing. Smarties, real Smarties, Canadian Smarties, actual Smarties, not this bullshit, whatever the hell this is. These are not Smarties. This is what Americans think Smarties are. These aren't Smarties, dummies. You can tell the difference between real Smarties and not real Smarties, because one tastes like chalkboard chalk and the other one is delicious chocolate covered, candy covered chocolate. Whatever. And on Halloween, they come in these really handy shot glass sized things. You can just open them up and just go like this. Look at. All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business. We got no time to fuck around today, because I'm on vacation and I got a lot of nothing to get back to. I have no plans to do anything except basically nothing. My favorite thing in the world to do is nothing. I love doing nothing. And I'm doing something right now. This is something. And I got to get back to doing nothing. So come on, let's do it. Let's hurry this along. We'll start off with it's Smarty stuck in my throat. We'll start off for the people who don't care about any of my nonsense and just want to see if they won free shit. Start off with the giveaway from last week. This right here, my partially finished All Are Equal in Death, which you're rightly probably thinking, what a lame giveaway. He's gonna give us a partially finished thing and nothing else to go along with it. Well, joke's on you, because I've got some stuff to go along with it. Turns out that this is actually going to be maybe like a half decent kind of giveaway, because I'm going to give the whoever wants it. I didn't think anybody would want it, but a bunch of people seem to want it. I'm going to give you this. King Jacob and his kingly wisdom, every now and then, royalty tosses a couple of breadcrumbs down to the peasants, right? King Jacob is kindly allowing me to include the actual chart with it. So if you don't have the charts, you'll get the chart with it too. That's nice. How about that? Free Jacob chart. I bet if you knew that, more of you would have entered. Huh? Yeah, well, these are the chances you take. Remember that the next time I do a giveaway, it's gonna seem like nothing, and it's gonna seem like I don't know what I'm doing, but by the time I actually give the thing away, it might actually be something cool. Huh? Also, if you've been noticing on Instagram lately, I've discovered a new hobby that I'm going to talk about later in the video, dyeing my own fabric, and I've just been like on a dyeing tear. It's been so much fun, and a lot of it I think has been turning out pretty good. So guess what? I'm going to toss a little bit of that in too. Look at that. You're going to get this. You're going to get an actual Jacob pattern, and you're going to get a hand-dyed Stitchman piece of fabric. Wow. Not so lame after all, huh? Huh? So in classic unprepared fashion, I haven't actually drawn the winner yet, but through the magic of editing, I'll be able to do that and put a picture of the screenshot of the winner right here. Kaboom! There it is right there. Look, congratulations, the winner. I'll comment on your comment. We'll get in touch somehow, and I'll send you this. I have some of the floss to go along with it too. Roxy floss, look at that. You're going to get this. You're going to get some Roxy floss. Probably not enough to finish the thing, but you'll get some of it. You'll get the Jacob chart. You'll get some Stitchman fabric. Maybe if you're lucky and I'm feeling extra generous, maybe I'll even throw in a box of Smarties. How about that? Calm, cool, and quiet. I can feel myself getting ramped up already. I need to take a breath. All right, that's it. Let's do it. Let's get to it. I'll show you some of the things I worked on. I'll show you a couple of the patterns I designed. I'll show you some of the fabric I dyed. I'll go back to doing nothing. You'll go back to doing something, and we'll never see each other again. How's that sound? Sound good? Let's do it. I feel like it's going to be a little bit difficult to section these off into like really definable sections like I normally do, because there's going to be a lot of crossover between like things I worked on and things I did and things I did and other things I did and then other things I did and then other things I did. Calm, cool, quiet, and collected. Let's just dive in and see where we end up. Let's go. First up, Halloween Quaker by Lila's Studio. Let's take a look and see where I was last time. Hey, time travel enthusiasts! It's me from a month ago. And this is how much I had done on Halloween Quaker. How much do I have done now? I feel like I either worked on it a whole lot or not at all. Let's see. So which is it? Is it a ton of progress or is it none at all? I think we all know the answer to that. Door number 2, none at all. So after all of my excitement last week about linen, and look, samplers, I'm into linen. This is all I want in my life right now. I want nothing else ever. Didn't touch it. I didn't touch this. I didn't work on any samplers, and I didn't stitch on any linen whatsoever in the past month in classic Stitchman fashion. Okay, so what did I work on then? Well, after my last video, the first thing just completely out of the blue when I was digging through my stuff that I looked at and I got super excited to work on was this old classic right here, Alice in a Dali Dream. All I wanted to do was full coverage, and all I wanted to do was Alice, and I've got a full coverage Alice right here. So I picked her up and I worked on her. Let's see what she looked like the last time you saw her.
It's crazy that Kaylee is so lazy. She hasn't done a song for Darcy to sing, so here it is. Alice in a Dali dream. Alice in Dali dream. Alice in a Dali dream. Alice in a Dali dream.
as of today, right now, first, I'm gonna do this in two parts. I'm gonna show you a picture first because I don't want to take Alice out of the Q-snap. Here's a picture of the page that I was working on, and I finished the page. Look at that, page finished. That's page 1, page 2, all finished. Isn't it pretty? So I did that. I was really just dying to do a full coverage. I wanted to work on full coverage. After I said all I wanted to work on was samplers, suddenly all I wanted to work on was full coverage. And I wasn't really in the mood for the blue and purple of Chessie at the time. I was super in the mood for this, and I picked it up and I just tore through it, and I finished this page, and I got her all done and out of the Q-snap, and I thought, okay, page finished, the end, I'm moving on. I'm gonna put her back in the drawer for a while and move on to something else. And as soon as I did that, got her de-Q-snapped and drawered, I started digging through my stuff. Well, what do I want to work on now? I still want to work on Alice. So I re-Q-snapped her and I just kept working on her. And this is how far I got. I don't know what I did here that I didn't like bother finishing this little part here, because that's the whole strip along to the end of, that's the end of the side. The end of the side. It's as far over as it goes. So once I finish this section right here, that'll be the whole top third, and I can start moving down to actual face. So, I didn't want to take her out of the Q-snap to show you. That's why I showed you the picture. But this also isn't much to look at. It's just a strip. But that's how much I did. I finished the page, and then I put her away, and then I immediately dug her back out, and I went almost all the way across the top, and I must have got distracted by something, because why didn't I finish it? Well, who knows? It'll probably be like this for the next 6 months. I don't know. I don't know though, because every time I say this every single time, I just keep repeating myself, but every time I pick this up and actually work on it, I'm reminded of how much I love it. It's so much fun to work on, and it goes pretty quickly because I'm enjoying it so much. Like, obviously, look, it didn't take me that long to finish the whole rest of that page and get this far. I could have got a lot farther. I just don't know why this one in particular seems to be one that I just pop in and out of. I've been working on this now for almost 3 full years. 3 years ago I started this. Can you believe it? I could be way farther ahead by now, especially at the pace that I go when I actually am working on it. I go pretty quickly, but it just seems to be one of those ones where I go in spurts of like, I'm way into it, I'll do a whole bunch of it, and then I'll put it away, and months will go by and I don't touch it. But that's all right, because I'm going to live forever, right? So who cares? I'll finish it eventually. Next up, Chessie. I did work on Chessie a little bit since my last video, so let's take a look and see what he looked like the last time you saw him.
This is what Chessie looked like last time you saw him.
Darcy probably regrets asking me to do this.
And here's what Chessie looks like today. Not entirely all that different than what you saw last time, because I had him on all unfolded and you already saw him like this. But I know you love it when I hold it with my face like this, right? Melissa likes this. I finished this page. Right here, you can see, right there, I finished it. Smarties in my throat again. So even though that is pretty much exactly what it looked like last time, and it's going to pretty much look exactly like this every time, because there's not much to see down there at the bottom, I did finish the page, and a page finish feels like a big win. So there he is. Chessie, on to the next page. It's been a few weeks, a couple of weeks at least, since I worked on him, because it seems such a chore to just put him back in the Q-snap, and I've got other things to work on, and it's just like, it's really not a chore to put a Q-snap on, but it feels like one. So sometimes it takes me a while to get things back in a Q-snap after I take them out. But I think I'm going to do that today, because my birthday is tomorrow. My birthday is tomorrow! Happy birthday, Jasmine! Oh, please save your applause till the end of the show. Please, please. I've got things to talk about. My birthday is tomorrow, and I'm planning to stitch pretty much all day long. And if I'm in the same mood that I am in right now, which I won't be, but let's pretend I will be. Chessie, I might just spend my birthday with Chessie. Me and Chessie all day long. Let's see how far I can get. Happy birthday to me. And then after that, and up to and including last night, I've been working on one of my own things. This is where some of the overlap comes in, because the reason I started working on this is because I dyed a piece of fabric that is exactly what I wanted to use. So do I show you the fabric first, or do I show you the thing first? I don't know. Let's just eat some Smarties. Who gives a shit? So I have this design of my own right here called the Eternal Footman, from a quote from a T.S. Eliot poem that I really like. And I worked on this before, and I've shown you this before, but I got this far, pretty far. Like this area right here, that's no joke, man. That's a lot of stitches and a lot of finicky, like little finickies to, you see, because I hold them steady and make them real clear. This like hangy part to the point of the thing here, it's a little finicky to get it to look exactly right, and I got it to look exactly the way I wanted it to look, and then I thought, I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, I do like it, but it's not what I was imagining. More like, you know, dark gray, misty, smoky kind of graveyard kind of a feel. This just wasn't doing it for me. So even though I got this far, I stopped and I was just like, I gotta find something better. And then find something better. What are we talking about here? I don't need to find anything. I can just do it myself. What? So now that I've realized that if I have a vision in my head of something that I want, be it a design or something I want that design stitched on, I'm like some kind of wizard. I'm like Harry Potter. I can just say Wingardium Leviosa and make it like, just make it appear in front of me, just like that. And that's what I did. Look, I dyed this piece of fabric exactly the way I wanted it, and I restarted it. And I'm really, really glad that I did, because in my mind, right from the start, this is what I wanted this to look like. And now this is what this looks like. So even though it's sad to do that much work and abandon it, in the long run, it's going to be worth it, because this is what I wanted. I love it. I friggin' flickin' fucking love it. Look at that. Look, let's see if I can hold them up side by side. Look at the difference. Look at that. Come on. What are we talking about here? Look. Use your eyes and look. So much better. I mean, I don't know what your taste is, or maybe you might be thinking like, I actually like that one better. There's nothing wrong with that, but like, this is what I was imagining, and I just didn't have and didn't find something that really matched what I wanted. So I just kind of settled for what I had, and fuck that, I don't have to do that anymore, because I taught myself how to do a thing. And look, I did the thing, and look at the pretty fabric. Not only the design, look at the fabric. Isn't it nice? I did that. This was just plain old white, and now it's not. Also, you may have noticed, maybe you didn't, but like, see how this one has like tree branches coming up here, and like the original design, the tree looked kind of frantic with branches kind of going everywhere, which is what I wanted at the time that I did it. But when I restarted it and looked at it again, this is the danger of like, this is why you get so many like, hang on, I have to burp. This is why you get so many movies and like reissues of like music and stuff like that, like director's cut and extra exclusive director's cut and re-director's cut of a director's cut, because it's really difficult. And like, I'm not even on that, like that, I'm not comparing myself to those kind of real artists, but it's really difficult when you do something and you're done with it and you put it out in the world, and then you go back to it, even just a little bit later, like a month or two later, or like a year later, you go back and revisit it. It's impossible not to look at it and go like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done that differently. I should have done that differently. Because you're a different person, even just within a few months. I'm different now than I was when I originally designed it, and I designed it the way I wanted to at the time. But if I was doing it now, I would do it differently. So it's really hard to resist the temptation to go back and constantly re-edit and update old stuff. I have so far kind of resisted doing that, but I did change this slightly. I toned down that tree a little bit because it was a little bit too branchy and a little bit too frantic for me and how I feel right now. So as much as I don't really advocate doing that, or doing that for myself, doing that, I don't want to just keep going and like redoing stuff as I feel differently on whatever whim. That's what I did then, and that's how I felt then, and I was happy with it then. The end. Leave it like that. It's kind of my policy, but I broke that this time. I changed it a little bit. So if hang on, I keep forgetting to breathe. If it so happens, because I know some people actually did buy this in its original form, if you like it like that, that's fine. If you want this, it's pretty much the same, but it's just the tree is toned down a little bit, and I've got a couple of motifs in there instead of all the branches. If you want this version instead, or if you want it just to have it also, I'm happy to send it to you. You don't have to buy it again. If you already bought it and you want this, just send me a message or something, and I'll send you this one too. And if you haven't bought it, go buy it, because isn't it awesome? I kind of just like I not that I was disappointed in it, but you know, I kind of abandoned the idea of like, whatever. Like I was excited about it, but it doesn't look like it just doesn't look right. Now it looks right. Now it looks right. Wait till you see it done. It's gonna look fantastic. I'm excited again. Stitchman stitching a Stitchman thing on Stitchman fabric. All I got to do now is just start dyeing my own floss, and I'm just completely self-contained. Okay, so that's the end of the things that I actually worked on, but that's a good little ending segue into a couple of the new designs that I also did. One of them I actually told you about last week. At least I thought I told you about it not last week, the last time I did this. I had a whole section. I talked about it at length. I showed it to you, and I told you all about it, and I told you where it came from. And then when I was editing, I realized that my camera wasn't on. It just went from like one thing to the next thing with the middle part not there. I must have just sat here mindlessly talking away to a camera that wasn't even turned on. What am I doing? So I will briefly, now that I can see that I'm like, the red light's on, that I'm actually recording this time, I will show you this one right here, which has been in my shop since last time, even though I didn't talk about it. This was a special request from Stitch Lady Melissa. Melissa. What's her name? the woman who birthed my baby. Melissa. Stitch Lady Melissa. She wanted this. She told me exactly what she wanted, and I did it for her. And there it is. And now it's out there for everybody. It's not just hers anymore. It's everybody's. I was gonna get her actually because she's been stitching for the last little while. She's got stuff to talk about. You haven't seen her in a while. She wanted to talk about this. She wanted to talk about her other thing. But this is just on a whim. She's not even home right now, so that might have to wait till next time. But next time, if we do a Stitch Lady Melissa segment, she might have actually started this and be able to show you, because dun da da da, her fabulous husband Stitchman Darcy not only designed this for her, but dyed a piece of fabric for her to stitch it on. Here it is right here. Take a look. This is the one so far, unless I do others that like maybe she likes better, but this is the one that I think she has settled on, that she wants to stitch that on. Check it out. Isn't that going to look tacular? I am quite pleased with myself, as you can tell. It's a good skull handy thing that she was happy with, which makes me happy that I did what she asked for, and then I did this, and I you know, like, because the thing that it spit out on was just plain old boring white looking. I mean, which could look, that's fine too. Like, there's nothing wrong with plain white. That's what I always used to do everything on. But can you imagine it on this? You're not going to have to imagine it because she's going to stitch it soon. Look at this. Look how much I'm just so excited about this like fabric dyeing thing. I just, it's going so well and it's so much fun. Look. And then one other thing that has recently appeared in my shop, this one right here called Out on a Limb, which my friend, my very close and dear friend and fellow FLOSSTUBER, who you all know and love, Alyssa Jones, has already stitched this to completion. Let's take a look at that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Look. I don't know why I keep telling you to look. What do I think you're going to do? Eat it? So that's available in my shop right now too. And calm, cool, and collected. So it was pointed out to me, I didn't do this on purpose or even notice it at the time, but Jody, Trixie Tricycle, in her latest video, did this one of mine. She finished it. It's gorgeous. Looks great. Mine also looks great. me. But anyway, let's see if I can get them side by side here. Pointed out that this one and the new Out on a Limb one are kind of similar, which they are. I didn't actually do that on purpose. I guess I just kind of like this kind of style, but they are kind of similar, and I think they would go together well. Point being that why do 2 when you can do 3? So I haven't done it yet, but since I did 2 that are kind of like in this similar-ish kind of style, I think I'll make it a trilogy. I might do another one in the very near future. That's another animal on a tree branch. I'm thinking monkey. How about that? What do you think? Bird, cat, monkey, the Stitchman trilogy. Okay, now let's get to the thing that you really want to see. The thing that I'm most excited about, the fabric dyeing that I just randomly decided I want to dye some fabric over the last month, and I learned how to do it. I watched some tutorials. I did some experimenting, and I think it's been going pretty well. I mean, I've got a lot of like positive comments from people that are like, "Oh my God, you're like, it's turning out so well with you. You haven't even been doing it that long. You just start." Yeah, that's because they don't always it wasn't like that right from the start. I only show you the good stuff to make you think give you the illusion that I know what I'm doing. If something turns out like shit, I'm not going to show you, right? Then you just think, wow, everything he does is perfect, right? No mistakes? Nah, there are mistakes. But you're not going to see those. You're only going to see the good stuff. So here we go. I'm going to try not to have like a whole story about every single piece of fabric. I don't have a story about them anyway. So I might have a couple, but I'm just gonna hold them up and just show you what I did. just see what I did. Yeah, I showed you this one already that I'm stitching the Eternal Footman on. Very, very happy with that one. And the one that Stitch Lady is gonna stitch the final rose skull hand on. This may be my favorite one that I've done. I'm gonna need to recreate this. Have this be part of my regular rotation. I love this. So what else we got here? Let's see what I did. You excited? This one I did for a particular reason. I want to stitch, because it's Christmas season coming up too, and I have a Christmas pattern in my shop called Blue Christmas. And I wanted to stitch it on something that's kind of blue, but not just come entirely blue on blue, like a slightly different blue, so the blues I chose for that pattern are going to show up nicely, but also not just entirely blue. I kind of wanted it, a little bit like blue-gray, kind of smoky. Took a couple of times to get it just the way I wanted it, but I think this is just the way I wanted it. So I'm going to stitch my Blue Christmas on this. What do you think? Not bad, right? What? Stitch Man, what are you doing? So here's a couple, here's some more. I'll just I'll stop with the stories and just show you some of the things I did. A blue right here, nice little blue. I was just experimenting. I'm not even sure what this was. That at the point where like I just said, I'm not sure what that was. I need to be sure what they are because I want to be able to recreate them if they turn out good. So I'm just writing them down as recipes. Like, how did I do that? And which colors did I use? And in what proportions? Because, do something by accident that I really like and then never be able to recreate it again. I mean, that would be in keeping with classic Stitchman, the Stitchman brand of idiocy. But I don't want to do that. I want to be able to recreate them. We got this one here, purple and blue. Woohoo! I was quite happy with that one. I wasn't sure at first if that was gonna look right or not, but when I unfolded it and rinsed it out, I started screaming with delight. I like it a lot. Same with this one right here. This one also turned out even better than I was imagining it was going to. Look at that. Whoa! Stitched something pretty on that, right? I don't know what, but something. We got this one right here, which I'm not sure that the color is actually showing up properly with my big light shining on it, but this was originally kind of a light shade of green, just green. And then Melissa suggested, what if you splash some red on there and make it look a little Christmassy? And then when I got it done, I mean, it still looks really cool, and I still like it a lot. But I'm not sure that it has the Christmassy kind of feel. Even Melissa looked at it and she's like, it kind of looks like you had a piece of green fabric and you mopped up blood from a murder scene with it. Hey, that's cool too, isn't it? Could do something cool with this. We've got this one right here, just a purple, just to see what color purple it was gonna look like. We got this bad boy right here. I have these categorized somehow, so just in case I like them or ever want to do them again, I'll be able to recreate them. But I don't remember every single one. These for the most part aren't just one, like, here's like gray dye and I use this much of it, and I just, I was using using mixtures, and I was like, some of it was soaking and some of it was drizzling. I was mad sciencing. I was mad the fuck sciencing all over my kitchen all week long. This one right here, Stitch Lady Melissa loves pink, so I just did a plain old like pink just to see what the pink would turn out as, in case she wanted to use it for something. Got some other like different shades of pink and red that might look kind of cool if I splashed a little bit of extra color on here, which I might do next time. I only have so much fabric and money, you know? It's only so much experimenting a boy can do. I mean, I know, like, hey, if you're just going to experiment, why do you have such big pieces? I don't know. Shut up. That's why. Could have cut these in half or quarters. Done a heck of a lot more experimenting. Yeah, I could have, but I didn't. I like big pieces. I wanted to see how it worked. Look at that. This one was the same purple as this, but I toned it down a little bit with some gray and did some kind of a magic mixture of something or other with it. I don't know. You don't need to know how I did it. I just need to be able to recreate it. You just have to look at it. Look, pretty, right? Isn't it pretty? So anyway, that's been what I've been doing and excited about for the last couple of weeks, and I love it. I love it. I can't. Not only do I love how they're turning out, I just love doing it. It's so much fun. I want to just be doing it all day long, and I might do that. I can't. I've got more colors, and I've got more mixtures, and I've got more techniques, and I can't stop. I love it. Do you love it? Do you like them? I might. Now, I don't want to be like, okay, I've done this a few times and now I'm some kind of expert that like can demand your money for it. That's not necessarily what I'm saying, but like, because I have an Etsy shop that is, you know, craft based, and I'm going to have a stupid pile of some of this stuff because I'm just not going to be able to stop unless I live to be literally 10,000 years old. They're just going to end up just piling up on my dresser from floor to ceiling for, you know, unused, because I'm not gonna be able to use all these. So I might throw some of these up in my Etsy shop and see what kind of interest is out there. I might try to like organize my thoughts a little bit of like, you know, not just like the bunch of randomness I just show you. I might pick a couple that I really like this one, and do a stack of them. So it's like, you know, I've got this one, and this one, and then like just see what people like and see how it goes. If nobody likes them and nobody wants them, I don't care. I'm still gonna do it. It's so much fun. I mean, I know you probably all like know how to do this and dye your own. You don't need me, and you don't need me to tell you how good it is and how much fun it is. But it's just I don't know. This is the calm, cool, thought collected Stitchman Darcy right now, right? Take a breath, organize your thoughts. It's so much fun to do, and I like the way it's turning out. Do you like it? So far, all of the pieces that I showed you today, everything that I've done so far has just been 18 count Ada. That's all I've done so far. Because like until I actually feel confident that I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, I didn't want to like, you know, spend extra money on linen or even weave or something that's a little bit more, you know, and then just waste it because I don't know what I'm doing. So like I might branch out beyond just 18 count Ada once I get comfortable with certain recipes and mixtures that I know and like and keep turning out right. But so far, the ones that I just showed you, 18 count Ada, which is nothing wrong with 18 count Ada. Look, this is 18 count Ada. Look how fucking gorgeous it is. You can't even stand it, can you? Stitch Man, we had no idea. So anyway, look for some of those possibly to appear in my Etsy shop in the very near future. And if not, then look for them to appear on Instagram in the always upcoming everyday future, because whether it has anything to do with spreading the wealth or people buying them or people liking them or anything else like that, so far, until I get tired of it, maybe I'll get tired of it quickly, I don't know, but so far it's just been the most fun way to spend my day doing this, and I am looking forward to continuing doing it. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for today. I still have I still have about a week left of my vacation. I'm very excited about it. I don't really have any plans to do anything except stitch and have some beer. That's what I'm going to do all day tomorrow. Just me and Chessie celebrating 41. 41? Gross. I'm going to be 41 years old. How'd that happen? So it's my birthday, and you know what that means? It's also King Jacob's birthday. Oh, Jacob, we have to wish Jacob a happy birthday too. Yes, that's right. Jacob and I have the same birthday because the Stitch gods have a wicked sense of humor. So if you want, while you're wishing me a happy birthday, you could also wish him a happy birthday. Although I would prefer if you would just say something like, happy birthday to Stitchman and that other guy, whatever his name is. That would make me happy. Can I just actually, can I just for just a second, for just 1 second, this is just like completely off the cuff here. So I don't know how this is going to go or if I'm even going to leave it in, but in a rare moment of actual seriousness, I'm gonna turn off the idiocy for just half a second, and I'm gonna say something completely serious. So strap yourselves in. I know that I bust Jacob's balls a lot, and I make it sound like, you know, we're some kind of rivals or like he's some kind of idiot or something, which I mean he is, but just kidding. Here we look, moment of seriousness. That lasted 2 seconds. But for real though, for actual real in real life, I feel very lucky and privileged to have been able to somehow weasel my way into Jacob's life and be his friend, because he really is a great person and he's just a wonderful man. He is. All right, I said it. I admit it. He is. We've had a lot of good talks over the last few years about sometimes semi-serious things, sometimes mostly completely nonsensical things. He's really funny. He's fun to talk to. He's fun to Zoom with. He's fun. He's just a great guy. He really is. I am very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable even sitting here right now, expressing to people that they actually mean a lot to me and that I love them. That's not easy for me to do. You can see I'm even like how uncomfortable I am just saying that. So instead of that, I make fun of them and make jokes about them. That's how I express my love. But I want to go on record for once and only once with Jacob in particular that I feel very lucky, happy, and privileged to be your friend. You've been very nice to me over the last few years. He's helped me a lot in ways that you guys don't even know about. He's generous with his knowledge and with his time and with his, like, you know, I know, like, I've got this stitch shop and look, I'm a stitch designer and I'm all these things, and like everybody knows that I'm just trying to be just like Jacob. Yes. Am I trying to hide that? I'm not trying to hide that. I am trying to be just like Jacob. Who else would I want to be like? He's everything he's everything I aspire to be. I even have benchmarks of, like, you know, Jacob, how old were you when you opened your Etsy shop? How long did you have that Etsy shop before you also had a website? How long were you at this before you were able to do this and nothing else? You know, I've got things to chase about this guy, and I like doing that, and I'll never catch him. He's always going to be a million miles ahead of me, but that's all right, because like for the entire rest of my life, I'll have something to strive for. King Jacob. Okay, the end. That's it. That's all I had to say. I'm never going to say it again. I'm going to deny saying it if you ever call me out on it. But I just felt like I had to get that out, because sometimes, even for me, sometimes my ball busting goes on and on and on so much without any non-ball busting in between, that sometimes you can forget that I'm just doing that out of love. Maybe you don't forget that, but sometimes even I forget that. And I wanted to go on record once and once only that I feel lucky to be Jacob's friend and I love him. And I'm never going to say it again. And don't ever mention it again. All right. Enough. That's enough of that. I said no nonsense. That was a lot of nonsense right there. Okay. So I think I'm done for today. I've got a whole lot of nothing to get back to, a whole week's worth ahead of me, a week's worth of nothing, and I got to get back to it. So I'm going to get back to it. I hope you're happy doing your nothing or doing your something. I should see you again So it's only what? It's near the 1st of November, or the 1st of November, whatever day it is today. I should be back at least once or twice more before Christmas. Pop in, say hello, show you another stack of fabric that I dyed. Would you like that? Would you like it? Would you? Would you? You would? Okay, I'll do it then. Until then, thanks as always for watching. Do all the YouTube-y things that I never ever think to mention. Like, subscribe, comment, visit my Etsy shop. Go subscribe to the people I mentioned if you want to. They're awesome too. They're my friends. keep doing all the things. I'll see you sometime after I finish doing all my nothing.
You're a snitch, man. You're a snitch.